I mean, we've talked about it, but I am really sick and tired of. Dude, they made the Super Bowl. Okay, who gives a fuck? Did you
You're not the
win?
only one. You
Did you
not the only
win?
one, bro.
Like Jalen was just in the fucking Super Bowl, and they crucifying this
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
JK.
nigga.
It's like the Bengals get more credit for losing the Super Bowl than most people get for winning the Super Bowl. What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Two Peas in a Pod with me, my player partner, my co-creator, the CEO, the mastermind behind it all, my dog, Ryan, aka Frank Dank. What's going on with you, brother?
What's up with y'all? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling. Had a rough week last week, you know what I'm saying? But back at it, back in the groove, you know what I'm saying?
As you should, my brother.
But yeah, for anybody that watches week to week, we had a rough week last week. Plain and simple, life and shit happens. Okay, we're not rich, so we still have jobs and we have things that we have to tend to when we're not doing the podcast. So you just got to work with us on that. But a lot of exciting shit happened, man, over the weekend, dog. It was a very weird weekend for college football, wasn't it?
It's an extremely weird weekend for college football.
We had what we had. So we had there were 7 upsets, and 5 of them were to unranked teams. And it's like if it was and what was crazy was it was a weekend that there was. Granted, in college football, every game is a big game. It kind of seems like that. It seems like every game is a big game. But there were no like premier games on this weekend, so it wasn't. I'm not gonna say it wasn't much to get excited about, but there was no game that was just like when you look at the schedule, ooh, I gotta watch that. Well, the Texas A&M and Missouri game was, but we kind of saw that shit was over very quickly. It wasn't a game to begin
Go Tigers.
with. Yeah, it wasn't much to root for this weekend. Shit. So all the upsets this past weekend. Tennessee was upset by Arkansas. Number 4. Number what was that? Number 4 ranked Tennessee got upset by Arkansas. 14-19. Tennessee drops to number 8. Number 25, UNLV falls to Syracuse in overtime, 44-21. UNLV falls unranked. Number 22, Louisville falls to SMU, 34-27 in overtime. Louisville falls to unranked. Number 9, Mizzou falls to number 25, Texas A&M. Mizzou moves down, drops all the way down to 21. Texas A&M jumps up to number 15. And then the biggest one, obviously the biggest one, number 1 Bama loses to unranked Vanderbilt, 35-40. That is the first time since 1984.
And it's like,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's like Georgia losing to them means nothing. But at the same time, Georgia bouncing back means nothing either. Because let's face it, Carson Beck, he can't push the ball down the field like he would like. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it's just bad. This is giving real 2007 vibes. Real 2007 vibes. If anybody remembers the things that were going on in 2007. And the crazy thing is, it came down to 1 versus 2. It wasn't a 12-team playoff.
Right.
So, in retrospect, this weekend was just upset week. I hope some of that carries over this weekend, but
we gonna get to that, man. Also, number 11 USC loses to unranked Minnesota, 24-17. USC falls unranked because that brings their total to 2. That brings their record to 3-2, I believe, 4-2, something like that. Number 10 Michigan falls to unranked Washington, 27-17. Michigan falls all the way to number 24.
Yeah. Oh, was that? Yeah, it was. I thought it was Northwestern. It was Washington. Yeah.
No, it was Washington. Now, out of all these upsets, which one was the most surprising to you?
No, obviously Alabama losing to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has been, the butt of many jokes for many years. and this is the biggest win in program history by far. So I think Alabama will respond, but critics and the voters are always going to be a tad bit hesitant when they think about moving Alabama up
Right.
because they lost to Vanderbilt, and a lot of people are trying to say this is like a Lincoln Riley OU team. You know, they have to score 45 or better
Right.
to win games, and judging off the defense in the second half of the Georgia game and the defense the whole game in the Vanderbilt game, that second half defense showed up the whole game. The energy was Alabama probably just felt like, oh, we're Alabama, we're number one, y'all gonna lay down to us. And to Vanderbilt's credit, those boys was coached up. They played a good game plan, and every time it was third down, they just made a way, found a play, and that was the real difference. Turnovers and third down was the difference in this game.
From what I saw in the Alabama and Vandy game, Alabama's defensive line, they was just getting blown right off the ball. Blown right off the every play, every quarter. It was just, it wasn't even close. Vanderbilt, they came into this game and they felt like they had something to prove. I do think with Bama, I think them getting that win versus Georgia probably took a lot out of them. And so, they felt like, damn, we just went toe to toe with, the supposed best team in the country, one of the best teams in the country. They felt like they was going to come in there, they was going to come into Vanderbilt and do what they always do. They usually always beat the hell out of Vanderbilt. This is Vanderbilt's first win against Alabama since 1984.
Wow, neither one of us were born in 1984.
Pretty much. So if you went to if you're a student at Vanderbilt, you probably felt like you won the national championship. That's I can promise you that's what this felt like. But I will say this. That Ryan Williams, that he is for real.
Mm-hmm.
He is him. Mm-hmm. He can be a number one
wide receiver
NFL right now.
There's another true freshman wide receiver up at Ohio State.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith. Yeah,
Mr. Smith. He's all right too.
He's a real deal. He's a real deal.
We got two wide receivers to watch next couple of years. It's gonna be.
He's definitely the real deal. Next up, one of the games I do want to talk about, which I thought was honestly one of the most exciting games of the weekend. Miami outlasts California 39-38. Cam Ward put the team on his back again and was able to. Miami was able to come back from. I think they were down. What was it? They was down. They was down 20. They was down 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 18 like 38. Oh shit.
No, they battled back from 21 points in the fourth quarter, and they were able to get it done. What was your thoughts? What was your thoughts on this game?
Pass rush showed up in the fourth quarter. They were getting the offense off the field, and Cam Ward was money when it was time to be money. I mean, he really had to be money. He needed 3 drives, and he got all of them.
Right.
Shout out to him with Alabama losing. He's my front runner for the Heisman. Now, will Miami play a top 50 team for the rest of this season? Probably not. If they do, it'll probably be the ACC championship game.
Now, they do get Louisville in a couple weeks. Louisville was ranked number 22 before the weekend.
If they can get a couple more wins and get back in there, maybe that. But the defense of Miami is extremely questionable at this point, and it's just going to come down to a Herculean effort from Cam Ward the rest of the season. Yep. And I feel like he can do that, but the defense needs to help him out, and him holding on to the ball will be grateful as well.
Yeah, he definitely was turning the ball over early. I think he threw an interception and had a fumble early on in the game. But he's been outstanding. He's been outstanding the last 2 weeks, man. This is 2 back-to-back weeks where he's had to battle from had an uphill battle, double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter. He did have a comeback win against Virginia Tech last week, 34-38, in which that game he threw 343 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, had 57 rush yards and a touchdown. This game in California, 35-53, 437 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Miami was down 35-10 in the third with 3 minutes left. That goes to show you what Cam Ward and this Miami offense was, what they had, the uphill battle they had to climb. So pretty much, go ahead, my bad.
Give them a spark and figure it out.
And so pretty much they held California, Berkeley to 3 points from 3 minutes in the fourth quarter on. So they would from that time period, California was only able to get 3 points. But yeah, man, I definitely got to give it to Cam Ward, man. He's playing lights out. But yeah, this Miami defense is this ain't the Miami defense that we've seen in recent years. It's usually Miami's defense playing well, but the offense can't fucking put up points.
Well, Manny Diaz is gone, so
that says a lot.
That. Yep.
Now we got to discuss. I do want to discuss with you the Heisman race. So we have currently leading the favorite right now is Ashton Jeanty. This is crazy, bro. 95 attempts on 1,031 yards on 95 attempts and 16 touchdowns. We're not even midway through the fucking college season yet, bro. That is fucking ridiculous.
And what's sad is it's been a number of non-Power 4 school athletes to run for over 2,000 yards and not even get the recognition. Damian Thomason got the recognition in New York, but I mean, even if dude runs for 2,300 yards, Barry Sanders still ran for 26.
26, so, 28, and 37, 26, 20, 2,628 yards and 37 touchdowns.
So, I mean, he got to run for 3,000 yards, and they still might not give it to him.
Ashton Jeanty is leading. Right behind him is Travis Hunter, 46 receptions, 561 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And on the defensive side of the ball, 2 interceptions and 1 forced fumble. Cam Ward is neck and neck with Travis Hunter, 2,219 pass yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 23 total touchdowns. And then rounding out the top 4, Jalen Milroe, 1,274 passing yards. I think 1,274 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 283 rushing yards, and 9 touchdowns, bringing his total to 20. Now, back to Ashton Jeanty. When you look at their schedule and like the conference that they in, then you also include the college football playoff because they're going to be in the college at this point. If they keep winning, they're going to be in the college football playoff.
If they win out, yeah.
Do you like if when you look at their schedule and with the way he's been playing, do you think it's possible for him to break Barry Sanders' record?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't outside of the UNLV game, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I don't really see anybody getting in the way. And this is a Boise team that's used to winning the MAC, used to having success, especially from last year. They just won it all last year,
right?
And I think they won it all 2 or 3 years ago as well. So this is a team that's very focused on winning and getting that 12th or 11th playoff spot. So even if they lose, I mean, they'll have to probably be undefeated. They'll have to be undefeated, or if they do lose the UNLV, they'll have to win a conference championship, and they'll probably get in from that point.
Right. I honestly feel like as long as he can keep rushing for fucking 160, 70, 200 yards a game, it's possible that he can break this record. Then, like with the college football playoff game, yeah, I think it's possible with the way these offenses are ran in college these days. It's college is built, to put up big games, big numbers, and big points. So they're gonna keep feeding them. They gonna keep feeding them. I feel like they're, especially towards the end of the season, I feel like they're going to do everything they can to make sure that he gets that fucking record. Now, if he does, bro, I think they got to give him the Heisman. I understand, Travis is the name, he's a household name, but if Ashton Jeanty get this rushing record, you got to give it to him. You got to give him the Heisman.
I mean, what we seen Travis do, we've never seen it before. You can make an argument with Charles Woodson, but even some of the things Travis is doing, Charles Woodson hasn't done. He's on pace to probably have 1,000 yards receiving and maybe 5+ takeaways.
Yeah.
We've never seen that before. That's crazy. That's crazy what Travis is doing. But the Heisman's kind of biased. It became like a running back, quarterback award, now exclusively a quarterback award, because the best player on the best team is the reason why, and that's not really the case. It should go to the best player. And right now, the actual dark horse front runners are Travis and Mahomie from Boise State.
Ashton Jeanty. I'm rooting for both of them. I mean, they are definitely both exciting to watch. Man, Ashton Jeanty just, bro, the jump he's got out to start the season is just, it's fucking incredible. It is incredible.
Man, child, look like Kareem Hunt out there his rookie year.
He do too. I think he's faster than Kareem Hunt though.
Oh yeah,
like by far. He's just Kareem Hunt's a thicker dude too. Like he's Ashton Jeanty's a little more of a smaller frame. All right, so let's go ahead and transition over into the NFL, shall we?
all right.
Well, we got to jump off into some big news. News broke today. Robert Saleh, head coach of the New York Jets, was fired after the 2-3 start. What are you making of this firing? Like, do you think it's his fault, or is it a problem that's somewhere else?
He was fired because of a bad offense, and he's a defensive coach. And the best thing that you had to talk about with the Jets was the defense. And now you fired their defensive coordinator essentially. So it's really not Robert Saleh's fault that they missed their left tackle, and they missed several other picks in the first round. So this is an offensive firing, but Robert Saleh is being punished because he's been there the longest. And you've been the head coach, you've been overseeing shit, but yeah, you haven't really given me much to work with. So with that being said, he'll just go on to make his what is it? I saw something crazy. He's going to be making 20,000 a month for like the next 2 years or something like that.
So I don't think he'd give a fuck.
yeah, and he'll probably be a defensive coordinator or some type of defensive coach on another NFL team, probably the next year, 6 months, whenever it happens.
I would agree. Honestly, this firing was just they're trying to point the blame everywhere, but where they really need to point the fucking blame to. And I mean, it's always easy to blame the head coach, but let's be honest. When you look at he took over the job 3.5 years ago, and he really didn't have much to work with. He had a rookie, Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson didn't look no better in his second year. And in his third year, Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and Zach Wilson didn't look no better then. He had an overall record of 20-36, which I don't think is no fault of his. I mean, like you said, they missed on a couple first round picks. Defense has been great his entire tenure there, but when offense can't put up points, you can't really depend on the defense due to, the defense is going to get tired at some point.
They're going to be on the field too much, yeah. And
I mean,
you're asking too much.
I mean, look at the quarterbacks he's had to work with. He came into this job with Zach Wilson. From Zach Wilson, he had Mike White, then Joe Flacco, and then he had Aaron Rodgers last year, but obviously Aaron Rodgers got hurt. And, I mean, let's be honest, bro. Aaron Rodgers is not playing good. He's not playing well.
I mean, the Jets offensively has had the same problem too. Like they don't have a left tackle. The offensive line is meh.
Yeah.
So like after a while, it's the same shit. Like with Chicago, you change quarterbacks. Well, now they've been winning a tad bit more games, but
which we're gonna talk about a little later for sure.
Yeah, so it's kind of a mixture of this is an impatient firing. Honestly, the record says to fire him, but reality, no, it's wrong. Get the offensive line together, and then let's see. But Aaron is on the way out, so this win now mode. So and the now you don't cut it.
Yeah, and if he don't at least make the playoffs, boy. And I think this is the second coach in his tenure. This is the second coach since he's been in the NFL that he's gotten fired. So, Aaron, we see you. We're not blind to what you're doing, motherfucker.
You shady son of a bitch.
You know what you're doing. Other big news today, it is announced Derek Carr will miss some time for a oblique injury. He was injured in the Chiefs and Saints game last night. Is it Spence time, Ryan?
It gotta be. I mean, it has to be. This might be a cop out for. I mean, he really didn't play bad. It's the offensive line is terrible.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's diming people while having a motherfucking hand in his face, and he still. I mean, there was not a pick, yeah, but there was a couple throws that weren't caught last night.
That's true.
Should have been. Like Derek did his thing, but I mean, outside of that bomb he threw, it's kind of, and the drive they scored on after the pick. But
all right.
Let's see what Spence does. He has an NFL type game.
Yep. True. He did say the offense that he played in the college was a more NFL ready offense. But yeah, Chiefs do get past the Saints last night, 26-13. Bro, the Chiefs actually they looked good in this game. For them to have such a depleted, wide receiver core or whatever, they looked really good this game. They look like the Chiefs. Granted, Mahomes didn't throw a touchdown, but he did throw 28-39 for 331 yards, but he did throw an interception, which I think he's starting at least one interception in every game this season.
But this one was
It wasn't his fault.
This is his best game he's played all year. This is the best game offensively they had all year.
I would agree.
I think Rashid Rice down the road is gonna bite him in the ass. They got to get somebody in free agency or a trade or something.
Yeah. Kareem Hunt, he 27 carries for 102 yards. I think this is his first 100-yard game since November of 2022, if I'm not mistaken. He also scored a touchdown. And how about Juju, man? Juju, big game in Kansas City, 7 receptions, 130 yards. And then there was a Travis Kelce sighting last night. Finally, 9 receptions for 70 yards. Shit, Travis Kelce was getting put on TV for something more than just being Taylor Swift's boyfriend. So it was a good game. Overall, it was a good game.
2 good games in a row for him.
I do want to know one thing. How the fuck Rashid Shaheed keep getting behind everybody?
I don't know. Some players just have a knack for getting open. Some players just giving on the coverage or what time it is in the game. They just have a knack for finding a way to, hey, give me the ball.
That's definitely what it seems like, man. This is like his third. This is his, not in a row, but this is his third game this season with a receiving touchdown of at least 40 yards.
Hey, man, a lot of defenders have a bad habit looking in the backfield too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't throwing you ain't finna put me on motherfucking Sports Center. Yeah, we fucked up.
He just, as soon as he get past after he get past about 10 or once he get about 15 yards deep, put his hand up. Hey, Rashid down there somewhere. He go catch that motherfucker.
I feel bad for Olave. I mean, he had a couple good catches last night, but it's just like, damn, you forget he's in the NFL sometimes.
Yeah, his brother tweeted on X. His brother tweeted on Twitter last night. On what was it, four targets?
Hey,
what was you getting ready to say, bro?
Like they called it X, but we still call it tweets. It's Twitter.
It's Twitter. It's still Twitter.
I ain't getting into it, man. I don't want people after me.
Hey, man, he did lose 83% profit after doing that. So I'm not saying it was a mistake, but ain't looking too good for him right now.
Some long-term investments are that long-term. So
that's true.
We'll see.
Moving on, I really couldn't wait to talk to you about this game. This was definitely so far probably game of the year, and this was definitely the game of the weekend. Ravens beat the Bengals 41-38 in overtime in a game that had over 900 total yards of offense. Baltimore 520 total yards of offense, 175 rushing, 345 passing. Cincinnati 442 total yards rushing, 442 total yards. 371 passes, 71 rushing. Ryan, what did you make of this game? And, did you see it playing out like this?
Yeah. I mean, for a minute there, it looked like it was going to go the Bengals' way. But this is just – the Bengals have both of these teams have a questionable defense.
Yeah, I agree.
At this point. But it was kind of nice to see Burrow going downfield to chase and then them hooking up like we accustomed them seeing.
Right.
I think that's really the first time all year outside a couple plays, the Kansas City game, another game, where we saw that connection as much. I think what the Ravens are doing, they're trying to preserve Derek Henry because it's a long season. Well, boy, that nigga show up in overtime.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Man.
Boy. So, I mean, with that being said, I think the Ravens have found their footing. They're getting back on track. They're getting back to Ravens football. They got to clean up some things on the defense, but the offense is getting better every week.
Yes, they are. I would agree. Lamar played out of his mind, bro. Lamar played out of his mind. 26 of 42, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was only sacked once in this game. And he had 55 rushing yards. And then he had receiving touchdowns to Kohler, Bateman. He threw receiving touchdowns to 3 different people. Kohler,
Likely.
Bateman, and he had 2 by Isaiah Likely. That second one to Isaiah Likely, but that one was beautiful. That one was beautiful. Yeah, he fumbled the snap. He fumbled the snap. He evaded 2 defenders, and then as he was going out of bounds, he threw that motherfucking end zone. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
I mean, like, you know, that was last time I saw that was when Josh Allen did it, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and then like when RG3 was doing it his rookie year.
Yeah, I mean, if
Mahomes, yeah.
So Baltimore moves to 3-2, but if we really be honest, bro, I think Baltimore should really be 4-1 right now. If we be, you can even make an argument. You can even make an argument 5-0.
I mean, a couple plays go their way,
yeah.
They'll definitely be leading their division, which they still are now.
Right.
But
no, we still leading the division. But
do you know what's crazy? Do you know what's crazy? If the Jets win, they play what, Thursday?
I believe so.
Against the Bills, if they win, they lead the division. It's like you really fired this nigga for no fucking reason. Like, he came to work like, what the fuck? Like, that's a terrible way to fire somebody. You should
be ashamed.
Call him up in your office, talk to him like a man, and explain the reason why you're letting him go. But yeah, that's the world we live in.
Yeah. Look, man, I stay out of that. I don't run an NFL organization, but that's definitely not the way I would have done it. But hey,
I mean, Jets have historically had a terrible front office.
That's true. That is true.
What are we expecting?
That's true. That's very true. Going back to this Bengals and Ravens game, bro. I got to give it to the Bengals. Like, the offense definitely played. You know, the offense played lights out. Joe Burrow, 30 of 39, 392 yards, 5 touchdowns. Did throw an interception. He was sacked 3 times. And, bro, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, bro, 10 receptions, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns. And T. Higgins, 9 receptions, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hey, the offense had a great day. I mean, you definitely can't say the offense is the problem. They clicking. They clicking. You know, T. Higgins is getting integrated back in the offense. And, you know, they're looking like the Bengals from a couple years ago when the Bengals made that, you know, that Super Bowl run.
I mean, we've talked about it, but I am really sick and tired of, dude, they made the Super Bowl. Okay, who gives a fuck?
You're not the only one. You're not the only one, bro.
Like, Jalen was just in the fucking Super Bowl, and they crucifying this nigga.
Yes. It's like the Bengals get more credit for losing the Super Bowl than most people get for winning the Super Bowl. It's annoying. It's annoying.
But you know what that is. You know, I'm not going to say it here, but you know what that is.
I know what it is. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you get the picture. But man, going back to the Bengals, bro. The Bengals honestly look exactly how I expected them to look. I said this in the I said this. This is gonna be a year where the Bengals they're gonna be good on offense. Mm-hmm. They're gonna be good on offense, but the defense is gonna struggle. And the defense is fucking struggling. The Bengals are 1-4. The Bengals have the 28th worst rushing defense. They're 25th overall in total defense, 28th in rush defense, 17th in pass defense, 19th in pass defense, 30th in rush defense, 31st in points allowed. And, bro, they are 31st in teams converting on third down against them at 47%.
That's out of 32 teams.
So, look, man, your offense can be as good as you want to, but you motherfuckers can't stop a nosebleed.
But is this any different from any other Bengals team that we've seen in the past?
It's really not. It's really not.
They just catch fire at the right time, make plays on third down. They need to keep it close, and then the offense explodes. Then they get a lucky turnover. It's just none of that stuff is happening right now. So and it's resulting in losses.
And we told y'all, we said this offense was gonna fucking miss Joe Mixon. The Bengals are 28th in rushing. They can't run the ball. They cannot run the fucking ball. Don't get me wrong, Chase Brown, Zach Moss, they've been persistent and consistent, but you now see what Joe Mixon meant to this offense. Granted, offense is still good, but you putting a lot on Joe Burrow. You putting a lot on Joe Burrow coming off of a season-ending surgery. He's making the best of it. He's playing his ass off, but okay. You keep letting them drop back the fucking 40, 50 times a game. Okay.
Get the card, guys. Come on.
Yeah, man. It's all right. That's all I'm gonna say. Moving on, we've been talking about the Jets. We do have to talk about the game this past weekend, and we got to talk about the Vikings. But we're gonna talk about the game first. The Vikings 23-17 against the Jets. This was the early London game at 8:30. This was Sam Darnold's revenge game, but didn't really play out that well. 14-31, 179 yards, one interception, and he was sacked 4 times. Justin Jefferson had a pretty big day. 6 receptions, 92 yards. Aaron Rodgers, 29-54, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. This was a coming out party for him and Garrett Wilson. Pause.
12.
13
Yeah, 12%.
receptions.
Okay, 13. Okay.
Yeah, 13 receptions, 101 yards, and 1 touchdown. Ryan, I want you to talk to me. What did you think of this game? What did you see? What did you take from it?
Just the Jets' offensive line is terrible. I know too that I saw the picks he threw was because he didn't have time to fucking set his feet. Without motherfuckers coming at him, like I don't care who you are, any quarterback. You can talk about Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, whoever you want to talk about. If the pocket is not clean, rarely are they going to be able to make throws consistently um, at a high rate. It's going to lead to turnovers. It's going to lead to bad throws. It's going to lead to everything you don't want. And this is a stupid fire right now at this point in the season. If I'm a Jets fan, your team is in limbo, and honestly, it needs to just be flushed full house. GM, everybody, maybe even a different ownership group, but we won't see until that happens. But the defense on the flip side, the defense made the Vikings look a little bit more human, back to normal. So the defenses might steal a couple things from this game, implement it when they play them. So that's going to be interesting to see what as the season continues.
I would agree. I think the Jets just they got down too early. They couldn't. They got down too early. Just couldn't stop the bleed, and then it was it became too much at the end of the game. Granted, they was driving and they was looking pretty good, but that last interception that Rodgers threw, that shit was bad. That shit was bad. Mike Williams ain't even turned around. It's like he threw it right to Stephon Gilmore. He threw it right to him. And shout out to Stephon Gilmore, man, because nobody was. I don't know how the fuck it took. I don't know how it took so long for him to find a team to play for. But shout out to Stephon Gilmore because he did play well. On the flip
side, he was out on Dallas. He was getting barbecued, especially last year. He was getting cooked a lot.
Yeah, you did. Well, he was having to be the number one corner last year because Trayvon Diggs went down.
Yep,
ACL. And that's not saying that I don't think he's good enough to still be a number one corner, but I do and I don't. Like I still think he's good. I think he has some gas in the tank, but I don't think he should be the CB1. You know what I mean? I don't think he should be the cornerback trying to follow everybody.
Oh, okay. Even though this nigga won Defensive Player of the Year not too long ago.
I know, but still, I think he's at that point in his career where he can play corner. Like he could be. He's like a. I still think he's better than him at this point in his career, but it's like a Patrick Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Like he don't have to be the premier guy, but shouts out to Stephon Gilmore, Mr. Sam, bro. We got to talk about the Vikings. What we got to talk about the Vikings and fucking Sam Darnold. The Vikings are 5-0. Sam Darnold, dog. Sam fucking Darnold. 111 yards, 1,111 yards, 11 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, 103 passer rating on 63% passing. See what getting away from the Jets do for you? See what getting away from Carolina do for you?
see what getting to a play caller does for you. Keep in mind the Vikings head coach was the offensive coordinator for the Rams. They won the Super Bowl, and people tend to forget that. I always say you get him a quarterback, and a good offensive line who can make pinpoint, accurate, good decision making throws. It's going to be a long day for you. That's why I was like, I don't know if JJ get hurt, Sam come in, we might be talking about a new contract.
Yeah, they might be okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. It's very early, beginning of October. That we'll have more to discuss on this situation, particularly around Thanksgiving. We'll be able to get a good idea I feel like round then. But right now they're humming along, undefeated. We're on to week 6.
Yeah, they do have a bye week next week. Justin Jefferson playing lights out right now, 26 receptions, 450 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's they got it together right now, man. Like they go it's good to be 5-0 going into the bye week as opposed to 2-3. The Jets do have Buffalo up next, which I think that's really gonna if they win this game, they tie for the lead in the fucking AFC East right now. That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see. We shall see.
Bills, they're just fine without Stephon.
Speaking of the Bills, they did lose this past weekend, 20-23 to the Houston Texans. Bills moved to 3-2. They got the Jets up. They got the Jets next. Texans moved to 4-1. They do have the Patriots up next. But going back to this game, this was a revenge game for Stephon Diggs, and he didn't score a touchdown, but he played fairly decent. 6 receptions, 82 yards. Nico Collins, 2 receptions, 78 yards. He did have to leave with a hamstring injury earlier in the game. CJ Stroud keep cooking, man. CJ Stroud continues to cook. 38, 38, 331 yards, 1 touchdown, but he did have that 1 interception. The Bills on the other hand, bro, this Texans defense turned them into they brought Josh Allen played terrible. Josh Allen played terrible. 9 of 30 for 131 yards, and he had 1 touchdown. He had that 49-yard touchdown pass to Keon Coleman, and it was because Keon Coleman caught it and ran it into the end zone.
Broke a tackle on the upright. I did this last year when Florida State was good.
Right. Ultimately, I think this game was just a coach. I'm not even gonna say a coaching blunder. I think that I do think the Bills, they were missing Khalil Shakir, so they were a little hobbled, but still, for Josh Allen to go 9 of 30 for 131 yards, that's pretty fucking sad. That's pretty sad. Because I mean, they did have Buffalo pinned, deep near their own end zone, and they punted to Robert Woods. All they needed was 10 yards. CJ throws a 5-yard pass, and they kick Kyrie Fairbairn comes in, kicks a 59-yard field goal. I do think the Texans, they still got some stuff they need to brush up on. Mm-hmm. They still got some stuff they need to brush up on because they let it get a little too close too late. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, they start not making plays at the wrong time. Of the game. At the end, it's go time, right? But a win's a win. And going back to the Bills, Josh Allen was running for his fucking life most of the game, especially the second half.
Yeah, that's true too.
I'm like, damn. So, pass rush did their thing. So we'll see Thursday. It looks like a very winnable game now for the Bills. Much needed win.
I would say so too.
To get a piece of the division lead.
Hopefully they get back on track. Moving on to another exciting game from this past Sunday. The Arizona Cardinals beat the San Francisco 49ers 24-23. Kyler 19 of 30, 195 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He had a 83 rushing yards for a touchdown. That 50-yard touchdown, bro. When he got to the 40, he put his hands up. That shit was crazy.
Last time I saw him do that was against Texas and Red River, baby. And West Virginia.
But what did you make of this game, man? What did you see from both teams?
Shout out to the Cardinals, man. This is probably the best 2 and 3 team in football, and they got blown out in one game against Washington. They just went out and got steamrolled. Every other game has been close that they played in. With that being said, this team is resilient. They coach well. I think Kyler is taking that leap and being a leader. So with that being said, if offensive line can hold up, they can maintain a good running game, and he can make better decision-making throws with the football, they should be in pretty good shape. Right now, the NFC West is I still will pick the 49ers right now, but it's looking real murky. It's looking real murky right now if you are a fan of a team in the NFC West. So good win, great win, honestly, because I don't know if the Cardinals can duplicate that at home when they play the 49ers again. But good resiliency, and shout out to the defense for making plays when they needed it.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think the Cardinals was well coached in this game. They showed defense showed up in the second half, man. The 49ers got all their points in the first half, and they didn't get another point rest of the game. The Cardinals were able to battle back from a 14-point lead, to take the lead 24 to 23. I mean, the 49ers didn't play bad. I mean, they played well in the second half. Brock Purdy was 19 to 35, 244 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. And shit, Kittle and Ayuk, they showed up today, man. Brandon Ayuk, 8 receptions, 147 yards. George Kittle, 8 receptions, 64 yards, 1 touchdown. And Jordan Mason, 14 carries for 89 yards. I think the issue with the 49ers in this game, and it has been for these a couple of these losses, they are missing Christian McCaffrey because they can't close games. They can't. Christian McCaffrey's been their closer, and they don't have that. That element of their game is just not there. There's no
fumble,
it's
fumble
no
home we committed. That hurt.
Yeah. It's no disrespect to Jordan Mason because I think Jordan Mason is playing lights out, but I just don't think he can give you as much in this offense as Christian McCaffrey can. Or maybe he can and they're just not getting him the ball. But we know what Christian McCaffrey is and what he means to this offense, and they missing him. They're missing him. They missing him real bad right now.
Point blank.
I mean, now, granted, 49ers offense is still pretty good. You wouldn't think so. 49, they rank second in overall offense, 4th in passing, 8th in rushing, 10th in points. So they're still pretty good. The issue is scoring in the second half. I think they're 22nd overall in second half points up until this point in the season. So it's just, them missing Christian McCaffrey not being there is definitely hurting this team. But, I get it, man. I mean, you train hard, you put your body through a lot, and at some point, things like this happen, unfortunately.
Yep.
All right, so moving on. All right, bro. Enough is enough. I've tried to defend this man. I've tried my best to defend him since he got there. But what the fuck is going on in Cleveland with Deshaun Watson? What is really going on?
Nobody's talking about it. Offensive line is terrible. That's a good chunk of it. And then when you have a quarterback that is like shell shocked from getting fucking hit so much already, and then let's not forget how much he was getting hit last year, on that offensive line for he fucked his shoulder up. But I mean, they're not going to talk about that. I feel like that's why he's playing bad. That's why the offense is not moving the ball. They miss Nick Chubb very much. You can tell this is a heavy run offense. That's their identity. That's how they get their points. And then Nick Chubb is an amazing athlete. And when you're not getting those chunk runs for scores or leading to scores, it exposes the offense in certain areas that we weren't aware of a year ago. And then you let go of Kareem Hunt as well. Now he's in Kansas City looking like old Kareem Hunt. So now, you're fucked in the running game and then you're not generating no offense. So between terrible offensive line, no running game, and what's bad O-line leads to bad decision making, which leads to losing.
I agree with you. I still think Deshaun is battling with some personal stuff. You can kind of tell. I mean, when he speaks to the media, he seems agitated and irritated, like he doesn't want to talk to them. He doesn't look like his, lively self like he was in Houston. And all bullshit aside, yes, the offensive line is playing bad. Deshaun has been sacked 26 times through 5 games. Once again, a little over 5 times per game, 26 times through 5 games. Ultimately, half of it is not his fault. He's not getting a hook from this offensive line and from the play calling. But when he is passing the ball, like, bro, he don't look good. He does not look comfortable throwing the ball. 852 yards passing, 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, 121 rushing yards, 1 TD, and 1 touchdown. Do you know Deshaun Watson has not thrown for over 200 yards this season? Do you know that the last time Deshaun Watson threw for 200 yards was November 12th of last year?
Right around the time he got hurt, right around the time they started playing good, right around the time he started playing good. So he hasn't had enough continuity with the team. There's just a lot of negatives, man. They didn't killed this man's confidence and all this, and like all these allegations and stuff. It's just like Houston has put together a hedge fund to fuck his life up.
That's kind of what
That's
it
just
seemed like.
that's just what it feels like, man. And
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's honestly terrible, and I hate that for him because I feel like he's such a great athlete, an amazing athlete, and then now we treating him like dog shit, and I hate it. I'm not gonna say we, but the media.
Like I said, I don't ultimately feel like it's his fault because the Cleveland Browns are fucking you probably believe so, but the Cleveland Browns are fucking absolutely dead last in total offense. Dead last in the
I can
league
believe
in
that
total fucking offense. It's bad. It is bad.
because
But
their running game opened up everything else. You look at it with
yeah,
Joe Flacco last year.
yeah. But hey, look, Deshaun, I'm still pulling for you. I still want to see you do well, but you got to get it together, bro. You got to get it together. Whatever outside noise you're dealing with once you get to the game, bro, you got to try to do a good job of blocking that shit out, man. Like I'm not here to attack your personal life. That whatever. I the court says you're innocent until proven otherwise. So enough of that. But the way you playing right now, bro, ain't no defending this. You playing like ass. You playing like ass. Straight cheeks. BBL. Cheeks. Waste management, my boy.
That's fucked up, dog.
Yeah, it's the truth, man. All right, so we do have to discuss Mr. Caleb Williams. Caleb has actually played extremely well his last two games. He has won his last two games, bringing Chicago to 3-2. Did get a win this past weekend, 36-10 over Carolina. Did get a win the week before that, 24-18 versus the Rams. Last two games, this past weekend, Caleb 20 of 29, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, was sacked 1 time. Versus the Rams, 17-23, 157 yards and 1 touchdown. What are you making? What do you think is clicking for Caleb so far? Or what do you think, especially with these last two games, what have you seen that that you think is the reason that Caleb's playing so well?
He's getting the ball out quicker, not giving the defense enough time to react. The offensive line is gelling a tad bit together to run the ball to alleviate him from having to play hero ball the whole time. DeAndre Swift is getting some yards. And I just feel like the team is starting to gel. They're starting to get that camaraderie and chemistry going. And now, granted, they played against probably the 2 worst teams in the NFL defensively. So we'll see if that was the case, or are they finally getting it together as a unit?
I agree with you. I think Caleb's doing a much better job of getting the ball out a lot quicker, not holding on to it too late, and not really trying to play hero ball. I mean, he threw a dot to DJ Moore in that Carolina game. So he's getting more and more uncomfortable, and he's showing you flashes that he can be an elite QB in this league. I still say give it another year. Give it another year because they got to get some offense. They got to get some pieces on that offensive line. Otherwise, he may not make it through his fucking rookie year, which I'm not knock on wood. I'm not hoping that's the case. But, granted, like you said, he has played 2 really bad teams these past 2 weeks. But I also think that that's kind of what he needed. He needed to see a team of, lower tier talent or, on the lower tier of the success, bracket or whatever. So he's made the best of his situations recently.
Yep. Yes, yeah. I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen a Chicago Bears team that's good.
Yeah, that's true.
That'll be nice to see that with an actual quarterback.
I tell you what, it has been a long time since we've seen any excitement surrounding the fucking Washington Commanders, which at one point they were the Redskins. The Commanders are on fucking fire right now, bro. Washington Commanders, 4-1, 4th overall in offense, 14 in passing, 2nd in rushing, 2nd in points, and 2nd overall in converting on 3rd down. Mr. Jaden Daniels, 1,135 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 300 rushing yards, and 4 TDs. He keep this up. My prediction that I made of him becoming Rookie of the Year is coming true, bro. Him winning Rookie of the Year and the Washington Commanders possibly, no, not the Commanders, but him winning Rookie of the Year. Hell, they might fuck around, make the playoffs. They keep this up.
Oh yeah, it's time for a different team, not named Philadelphia Eagles or Dallas Cowboys, two in that division, and how it's looking, it might very well be them. Cliff just, I mean, this might be the best version of Cliff's offense we've seen since probably what 2021.
And it was when the Cardinals jumped out to that big start.
Yeah, when they made the playoffs that year. So this everything's clicking. The defense is playing pretty good. Running game's working, and I mean they got some weapons. I mean we really didn't talk about them a lot because they weren't winning, but they keep winning. We keep hearing about McLaurin and everybody else.
Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, Diami Brown, like yeah, they shit. And Zach Ertz coming back to life, man.
You see what I'm saying?
They playing their ass off, man. I do hope they can keep it up. And bro, if you Jaden, don't let the media hype your fucking head up because as quickly as they build you up, they tear your ass down. I mean, look at what they doing to Jalen Hurts right now. So
look at what happened the last Heisman winner that came through there, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So don't. All right, they are under new ownership, so it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out, man. But shout out Jaden Daniels, man. Now we didn't get to talk about this earlier, but so it came out. It came out yesterday that Rashee Rice will miss the rest of the season. I think his LCL, his MCL is going to need repair. That leaves the Chiefs down to Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster, Sky Moore, and Mecole Hardman. They lost Hollywood Brown before the season.
Throw the tight ends in there too, shit. Man.
In there too. Noah Gray and what's his name? Carson Steele. Pacheco won't be back till probably week 10. Now, yesterday was Mahomes' first game of throwing under 300 yards. Do you think the offense that they have is sustainable for the rest of the season?
Yes, maybe. Now, again, this is against a bad Saints defense after the first 2 weeks. So maybe this is just a sign of a bad defense, or the Chiefs are starting to gel and get it going. Because I know in the month of November and December, that's when Mahomes starts cutting the fat and start, cooking motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's starting to ramp up. It's that time of year where if you winning or you're on the right side of whatever of momentum, this time start getting it going. So it's possible. I wouldn't count them out. I just have to see it. And it's been a different game plan of how they attack defenses every week, which is also dope to see.
I agree, but I think it'll be sustainable. I think because they play in such a weak division, I think they'll win that division by default. But if we talking playoffs and if we're gonna be talking about them getting a three-peat, I definitely think they got to make a trade to get another wide receiver. Pacheco will be back, but do I think he's gonna come back full strength? I don't know, and I think it's gonna take him a minute to really get back to being comfortable, cutting and run, coming out of the backfield like that. So that may take a couple weeks, but in the meantime, I mean, they got plenty of wide receivers on the market. Big name wide receivers on the market right now: Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins, and Deontay Johnson. Personally, I think Amari Cooper for the Chiefs is the most budget-friendly move because he's only owed, I think, 680-something thousand. And he has an expiring contract, so they can bring him in short term and let him walk at the end of the season.
And he's still in Cleveland?
Yeah, he's still in Cleveland, but he's on the last year's deal. As far as the Devontae Adams things go, along with DeAndre Hopkins, yes, would it be nice? Absolutely, but they're gonna take a huge salary cap hit if they were to trade for either one of them. Because Devontae signed that big contract a couple years ago. DeAndre signed a big contract to go to Tennessee. So him coming to Kansas City, I definitely think that's gonna hurt them in the pockets to do either one of those.
That's the most affordable one. I mean, that's what the Kraft family like. No, not the Kraft. I'm sorry, the Hunt family likes. So they need to do something. Yeah. They low key saying fuck ain't nothing to ride.
That's kind of what it seems like. That is definitely what it seems like, man.
Yep.
All right, man. We coming down to the nitty gritty. This will be the last segment of the episode. We have our Week 6 quick picks. We're gonna go through each game that's gonna be played on Sunday, and you're gonna give me who you think is gonna win right off the top of your head. Are you ready, my good sir?
Let's do it.
All right, we got the 8:30 game in London. The Jaguars versus the Bears.
Bears.
Give me the Bears. Cardinals versus the Packers.
Packers.
I take the Cardinals. Bucks versus Saints.
Bucks.
I take the Bucks as well. I agree with you. Colts versus Titans.
Titans.
I think I take the Colts in that one.
Yeah, I'm tripping. It's Joe Flacco on there. My fault.
You take the Colts.
Yeah.
All right. Browns versus Eagles.
Eagles.
I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles again. I agree with you. I'll take the Eagles on this one as well. Texans and Patriots.
Texans. They started Drake May against that defense. Okay.
I'll take the Texans as well. Give me the Texans. Commanders and Ravens.
Fuck, damn. Ravens. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I will definitely take the Ravens in that one, but I agree that's gonna be a good one. That's a toss up. I don't feel like you can go wrong picking either one of them.
Right.
Next up, we got Chargers and Broncos.
Chargers.
I think I'll take the Broncos after how Bo Nix played last week.
Cuss his ass out. Shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, but I also think he's getting comfortable in this offense. Like, I think one of the best things to happen for him, as much as I don't like Sean Payton just making his ass throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the only way to get comfortable is a repetition.
You came here under the moniker of quarterback, motherfucker. You throw the ball.
And that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to throw that motherfucker. Next up, we got the Falcons and Panthers.
Falcons.
Give me the Falcons. Lions and Cowboys.
Lions.
Lions as well. Lions definitely for me. Steelers and Raiders. Steelers, hands down. This shouldn't even be a question with me. I'm gonna pick them over anybody. Bengals and Giants.
Bengals.
Bengals for me as well, and Bills and Jets.
Bills, I guess.
No, I definitely take the Bills. I think that, like you said, it's premature firing. I still think it was too early in the season, but hey, only time will tell, man. All right, you got anything else you want to cover before we get up out of here, Ryan?
Shout out to LeBron James Jr. That's beautiful. Go Lake Show all day, baby.
Yep. And for all y'all talking about nepotism, you can't cut that shit out.
A lot of y'all right now got a job because of that, motherfucker. So.
A lot of y'all got a job because of y'all parents. And you motherfuckers love talk about Eli and Peyton when their daddy manipulated where the fuck they was gonna go. So keep talking that shit.
Fuck no, he's not going to San Diego. He's going to New York. Some bitch motherfucker. You drive there, he's not playing one fucking snap your organization, you bitch.
Hey, Bronny, I need you to, if you somehow see this, I need you to listen very, very carefully. I don't give a fuck who son you is. When you come to TD Garden, you gonna get it. You gonna get it. Trust me. Just like you. I hope your daddy is mentally preparing you.
I hope y'all get blown out by 40 fucking 5, nigga.
That's cool. We gonna see. We'll see in a few weeks, motherfucker. We on y'all. We on y'all. Anyway, man, that's gonna be it for this week's episode. As always, we thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Like I said, we always enjoy constructive criticism, and just tell us where we going wrong at. But as always, you come with some bullshit, we need to have a different conversation, man.
Get your ass out there and vote.
That's right. Go vote. I don't think we need to take off your belt, Ron. Fuck that. Get the strap. Get the strap.
Go over there and give me a switch, boy. You better not be bullshitting what kind of switch you bring back. I'm gonna fuck you up even more.
All right, nigga. You think you're funny. Okay.
Oh, shit.
But as always, bro, man, I love you, brother. You know, I hope you have a successful week. And like I said in the group chat, I hope your paycheck is more than you think it's gonna be.
You too, my nigga, for sure. I hope $1,000 just drop out of nowhere in your pocket, motherfucker. Hope you win the lotto.
I hope you have a great rest of the. I hope this fucking podcast go viral tomorrow.
Yeah, and fuck the Cowboys.
Fuck them. And as always, brother, I love you, man. I'm gonna see you later on.
I love you too, dog. All right.